things in the SQL loader, we have three ways to load the data. Okay, we have three ways to load the data. So yesterday we see about the SQL loader. Okay, so today we are going to deal with the external files. Okay, so external file will help you to, okay, so read the data from the file. So whenever we want to access data from a file into database, so you are access the data from a file. You are not loading the data. So you are accessing the data from file using table. Okay, so example, so if you want to access the data from an Excel sheet or .csv file into the database, so .csv file నుంచి కానీ Excel file నుంచి కానీ నువ్వు డేటాని రీడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. Okay, there are many ways by which can access them from external files. One is like we can use utility package. So UTL underscore file is the package. UTL underscore file is the package is another way. So we said like we have three ways. So UTL underscore file package external table. Okay, so which can actually do the file handling operations like reading from a predefined directory, and then you can do your programming constructions. So ఇక్కడ ఏంటి అంటే నువ్వు ఒక ఫైల్ నీకు నచ్చిన ప్లేస్ లో నువ్వు ఫైల్ పెట్టి SQL లోడర్ లో ఆ పాత్ మీరు కంట్రోల్ ఫైల్ లో మెన్షన్ చేసి సో మీరు ఆ ఫైల్ రీడ్ చేసి లోడ్ చేయడం జరిగింది SQL లోడర్. సో ఇక్కడ ఫైల్ ని నువ్వు లోడ్ చేయాలి అంటే సో కంపల్సరీ నువ్వు ఎక్కడైతే ఆ ప్లేస్ నువ్వు ఆ ఫైల్ నువ్వు ఎక్కడైతే నువ్వు ప్లేస్ చేస్తావో ఆ ఫైల్ కి ఒక డైరెక్టరీ అనేది క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ యువర్ OS ఫైల్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ యువర్ OS డైరెక్టరీ. ఓకే, సో ఈ డైరెక్టరీకి డేటాబేస్ కి మధ్యన లింక్ అనేది ఉండాలి. ఓకే, so if you want to build that link, okay, so if you want to build that link, so we need to create the directories for that. Okay, we need to create the directories for that. See, so an Oracle directory is a database object pointing to operating system directories on the database server machine for reading and writing the files. So నువ్వు ఒక డైరెక్టరీ అనేది క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలి. సో ఆ డైరెక్టరీ అనేది నీ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టంలో ఏదో ఒక ప్లేస్ కి పాయింట్ అవ్వాలి. సో నౌ ఐఎమ్ మెన్షనింగ్ లైక్ D colon in the C drive, D drive, I'm mentioning like a file underscore read write dir is my directory name or folder name. Okay, so now I'm creating with some directory here. Okay, so if you want to create the directories in your own, so you need the privileges like create any directory or create directory. Okay, so create any directory will help you to create any other users. How we are creating like a normal okay, so how we are creating normal table. So if you want to create the table in your schema, we'll need the grant like a create table grant. So if you want to create the table in another user schema, we'll go where we will require create any table privilege for you, right? In the same way, if you want to create the directories in your own, we need the create any directory or create directory privilege based on your requirement. Okay, so mostly you won't get this situation because the DBA people will taken care about that creation of directories and everything. Okay, so the directories can be created by the DBA people. Okay, so the DBA people are meaning sys is the admin user. The sys user can able to do this type of tasks. Okay, so the syntax of the directory creation, create or replace. So the directory is already present and drop that and recreate that. The replace will help you to drop the existing object and recreate that. Okay, So if you don't have this R replace option, so you won't like if you can create the table, create table T1. So our table already exists in the name is already used by an existing object and errors. So if you want to overcome that error, so we will drop that user and will so drop the table and we can recreate the table, correct? The same way, instead of doing drop and recreate, simply mention like a create or replace directory. Okay, ఈ R replace అనేది drop చేసి recreate చేస్తారు. Okay, directory name. The directory name will your wish. You can able to provide any name. So XYZ, ABC, anything as. So in single quotations, you need to provide the path for that. So the OS system lo unna path. So wherever you are creating the డైరెక్టరీ సో ఆ డైరెక్టరీ అనేది నువ్వు క్రియేట్ చేయాలి అంటే నీ డేటాబేస్ ఎక్కడైతే ఏ సర్వర్లో ఇన్స్టాల్ అయ్యిందో అదే సర్వర్లోనే నువ్వు డైరెక్టరీ క్రియేట్ చేయగలుగుతావు. ఓకే, సో ఇది వరకు ఏంటి నీ లోకల్ మిషన్, ఇది నీ లోకల్ మిషన్లో ఎస్క్యూఎల్ లోడర్లో నువ్వు ఫైల్ని ఇక్కడ ఎస్క్యూఎల్ లోడర్లో నువ్వు నీ లోకల్ మిషన్లో ఫైల్ పెట్టి త్రూ డేటాబేస్ నువ్వు ఫైల్ రీడ్ చేస్తాను. అదే ఎక్స్టర్నల్ టేబుల్కి వచ్చేలోపు ఏమవుతుంది అంటే ఎక్స్టర్నల్ టేబుల్ అనేది నీ డేటాబేస్ అనేది ఎక్కడైతే ఇన్స్టాల్ అయిందో నీ ఒరాకిల్ సర్వర్ ఎక్కడైతే ఉందో ఆ ఒరాకిల్ సర్వర్లోనే నువ్వు ఫైల్స్ అనేది ప్లేస్ చేయాలి. అప్పుడే ఆ ఫైల్స్ రీడ్ చేసుకోగలుగుతుంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఇదేమో నువ్వు ఇక్కడ ఏ సిస్టంలో నుంచైనా నువ్వు లోడ్ చేయొచ్చు. లోకల్ సిస్టమ్ నుంచి చేయొచ్చు, రిమోట్ మిషన్ నుంచి చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, సో కానీ ఎక్స్టర్నల్ టేబుల్స్కి వచ్చే కొద్దీ సో దట్ ఫైల్ నీడ్ టు బి ప్లేస్ ఇన్ యువర్ ఇన్స్టాల్డ్ డేటాబేస్ సర్వర్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ డేటాబేస్ సర్వర్లో నువ్వు ఫైల్స్ని ప్లేస్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, సో సింటాక్స్ ఏముంది, క్రియేట్ ఆర్ రీప్లేస్ డైరెక్టరీ నేమ్. ఓకే, సి నౌ ఐఎమ్ క్రియేటింగ్ ది డైరెక్టరీ ఫర్ దిస్. Now I'm connected. I'm already connected with the admin user. Now I'm creating the directories for this. Now the directory has been created. Okay, if you want to use this directory, so admin use చేయరు కదా. సో అడ్మిన్ ఎవరి కోసం యూజ్ చేస్తారు, అడ్మిన్ will give the grant to the required user. సో ఎవరైతే ఆ గ్రాంట్ ఆ డైరెక్టరీ ఎవరు క్రియేట్ చేయమన్నారో వాడికి ప్రివిలేజ్ ఇస్తాడు. ఓకే, సో ఐఎమ్ ప్రొవైడింగ్ ది రీడ్. సో ఆ డైరెక్టరీలో ఫైల్ ఏదైనా కంటెంట్ ఉంటే ఆ కంటెంట్ని రీడ్ చేసుకోవాలనుకున్నప్పుడు రీడ్. సో మీరు డేటాబేస్లోకి ఉన్న డేటాని ఫైల్లోకి రాయాలి అనుకున్నప్పుడు రైట్ పర్మిషన్ కావాలి. రీడ్ అనేది ఏంటి, సో టు రీడ్ ద డేటా ఫ్రమ్ ఫైల్. ఓకే, టు రైట్ ద డేటా ఫ్రమ్ డేటాబేస్ టు ది ఫైల్. సో మీరు రాయాలి అంటే రైట్ పర్మిషన్ కావాలి. సో ఉన్నదాన్ని మీరు యూజ్ చేసుకోవాలి అనుకున్నప్పుడు రీడ్ పర్మిషన్ కావాలి. సో హౌ ద టేబుల్ యాక్సెస్ we are providing grants. Select permission will help you to read the data. So insert permission will help you to insert the data. In the same way, read permission, write permission అనేది so based on your requirement. Now I'm providing the grant for this. Okay, so JSV is my username. Grant read write on directory name to JSV. JSV is my username. Okay, so then, so if you want to cancel that, we'll use the revoke. Okay, so then if you want to see that the directories, okay, so how if you are creating any table that gets stored in a user underscore tables, all underscore tables, db underscore tables, correct? The same way, so you can able to see like all the directories information in, okay, so all the directories information in this place. See, describe that is table. Okay, see, this is your owner name, directory path. Okay, so select from db underscore directories. So you are not able to see like directory name. This is your path, the owner name, sys. Okay, directory name. So Vashi underscore file imp exp. Okay, then your path d colon file write dir. Okay, so if you want to di dir directory. సో నేను ఇక్కడ ఏమి చేశాను, సో వాసి ఫైల్ ఈఎంపీ ఎక్స్పీ అని చెప్పి డైరెక్టరీ క్రియేట్ చేశాను. సో దాని యొక్క డైరెక్టరీ నేమ్ ఏంది, ఫైల్ నేమ్ ఏముంది, సో డైరెక్టరీ డిఐఆర్. సో టు రిమెంబర్ దస్ ఇట్స్ ఎ డైరెక్టరీ, సో దాని గురించి నేను అలా మెన్షన్ చేశాను. ఓకే, సో దెన్ so now we created the directory and we can use that in your directory place. ASV. This is my user. Okay, see my file has been this is my path, this is my directory name. Okay, so till now we clear, right? So the directory will help you to point the OS directory. So ఏదైతే నీకు OS లో some place ని నువ్వు యూజ్ చేసుకోవాలనుకున్నప్పుడు you need to create that directory for that particular path. Okay, so this is the definition for the directory definition will help you to. So and Oracle directory is a database object pointing to a operating system directory. So ekkadaithe mee database install ayundo akkadiki connect avutundi on the database server machine file for reading and writing the files. Okay, okay, so then we'll see, so how can we use this, what is the syntax for this. Okay, so another simple way to access the data. Okay, external data is called an external table. So this is one method. Okay, so if you want to use that, we created the directory. Okay, now I'm loading the EMP table data into. So how we created yesterday the control file. Okay, control file. So the same way we are creating the control file as well here. Okay, now I'm creating the table ext underscore emp is my table name, external table name. To understand the name, so just I simply mention like a ext underscore emp is my table name. So then I am mentioning like a column definitions, column name, data type for each and every column. Okay, so here I'm mentioning like a organization external. So you are reading the data from external. Okay, so external load చేసేదానికి మనకి నిన్న ఏం చేసాం మనం, we use the so wait, so control file to load data in a file path. Okay, so discard file truncate. So ఏంటి ఇక్కడ truncate append ఇవన్నీ. So fields are terminated by the comma. So column name, whatever the columns you are going to mention, that you already design the table. So in this you mentioned emp underscore load is your existing table. So already created the target table. So that table and definition has been defined earlier, and you are using that simply by mentioning the column names here in this place in the control file and SQL loader. So in SQL loader, you already created the landing table and you are using those columns in this. Okay, but you haven't created any table in external table. So ఏం చేస్తున్నా మనం టేబుల్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు టేబుల్ యొక్క డెఫినేషన్ ఎలా ఉందో సేమ్ అలానే యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ సేమ్ ఇన్ దిస్ ప్లేస్. So you can able to create the table simply like this. It create the normal table. but we are not looking for the normal table. So we are looking the table creation need to be happen. At the same time, you need to read the data from that particular file. Okay, so now it's here. So create table, everything will same. There is no change in this place till. Additionally, you are going to add some keywords here. Okay, so organization external type Oracle loader. Type Oracle loader. How we have the SQL loader? The same kind we can call it as a Oracle loader, or we can call it as an external table, or we can call it as a external directory. So few people will call as a external directories also. అర్థమవుతుందా కొందరేమో external directories అంటారు. So we can call it as either Oracle loader or external tables. Okay, default directory that you need to mention in this place. Okay, that you need to mention in this place. So what the directory we created, that I'm going to mention in this place. So this is my directory name. I'm copying this here. Access parameters, records. Okay, records delimited by the new line. So ఒక రికార్డ్ అని నేను ఎలా తెలుసుకోవాలి అంటే న్యూ లైన్ ఉన్నది. So every new line has a record. Okay, every new line has a record. Fields terminated by the comma. So fields are terminated by the comma. So how we mention in the SQL loader, in the same way we mention here. Location. So now location will catch this location. If you mention this location, so it will go for this particular directory. So where we place this file. So ఈ డైరెక్టరీకి నువ్వు ఏదైతే ఓఎస్ డైరెక్టరీని పాయింట్ చేసి నువ్వు డైరెక్టరీ క్రియేట్ చేసినావో, సో నీ లోకల్ పాత్ కాదు, ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ లో నువ్వు ఒక పాత్ తీసుకొని యూ క్రియేటెడ్ సమ్ డైరెక్టరీ. ఓకే, సో ఇఫ్ యూ మెన్షన్ లైక్ లొకేషన్ as a file name, so if you mention this, it will go for this particular directory path and look this file is present or not. If the file is present as per this syntax, as per this layout or syntax. Okay, so ఈ సింటాక్స్ ప్రకారంగానే ఫస్ట్ కాలం ఇలా ఉంది, సెకండ్ కాలం ఇలా ఉంది, థర్డ్ కాలం ఇలా ఉంది అంటే, సో ఇట్ లుక్ ఫర్ దట్ అండ్ లోడ్ ద డేటా ఇంటూ ది రెస్పెక్టివ్ కాలమ్స్. If the file is not as per your syntax or as per your control file kind external table syntax కాకుండా different గా ఉంది అనుకో, then you will get the error for that. Okay, so now I am creating the file. So where we place the, okay, so file dir, so we already created, and we'll see the what the file is having the data permission. So every column we have. Okay, now I am creating the data in this. Simply I'm mentioning the directory name here. So this single quotations having trouble here. So I copied from the Word, right? So it is having some trouble here. So we need to mention the single quotations from the SQL developer itself. It's having the issue. Higher the date. Now my table got created. See the data in this place. In this place. Data Cartesian error. Data Cartesian error. So due to some error, the file has not read it from this table. So go and check in this place. Go and check in this place how that log file has been created. Okay, so we mentioned like a emp details underscore csv is not found in your directory. So I mentioned like a file name as a emp.csv. emp.csv. So while creating my table, I'm mentioning like a emp underscore details.csv. Okay, It's simply saying like it's generating the log file. So how the SQL loader is generating the log file, the kind of file is automatically generating here. Now I'm mentioning like a original file name. Now I'm recreating this. This is having the error. Name is already used by an existing object. So you need to drop this object and need to create that. Now the table has been created. Still you are getting the error because reject limit reached. Check this in again in this place. Now it reached the bad file, it generated the bad file. Okay, so we haven't mentioned like a skip the error numbers. So we have the file is having headers. So due to that, it is having the error. So now I'm removing these headers and we'll see the things. So else we have another option to skip the number. Skip equal to wait. So we'll simply mention like skip. Okay, so rejected unlimited. We can mention this. So you people won't use diary on every day this, but you people need to know definitely these all the things. So if you know the concept, you can Google and you can find the things for that. Wait for my SQL loader also we have the options. So in the starting of the point, we will mention like a so option equal to skip equal to 2. The same thing you can mention in this place as well. Go to this control file and mention in this place. So access parameters. So wherever the parameters you are going to mention that in this place you need to mention here. Okay. So records delimited skip one record. So if you mention like a skip 2, it will ignore the first 2 records. Okay. So now let's try with the data. So now I'm dropping this table. Okay. Now I created this. So check the data has been loaded or not. Okay, it ignoring that first record and loading the data into this place. Okay, so now we'll use the reject limit as well. Reject limit is unlimited. So we can mention this. We can use that as well. Now I'm dropping this table and recreating this. Okay, let's see the data in this. Data cart is error. No, I created. Table has been dropped. Table has been created. Check this in this place. Data cart is error. Okay, syntax error found, reject expecting one of the bad file or beyond that. Okay, so there is some mistake in this place. Let's comment this and we'll verify that how the what is the difference between the SQL loader and the external table. Okay, so now we read the data from the file. What happened? Data cortex error execution and line number 3. Okay, so I'm commenting this as well. Let's copy the syntax again. Let's copy the syntax again and we'll see things. So now I need to remove these all things. Okay, so now so what the difference we did I need to see now. Rename and replace with my directory name and so what are the columns we have that I'm mentioning in this? Okay, so we need to mention like a fields and everything here. So if you want to mention this, so if you have any own formats, if you want to provide, so ఏంటి డేట్ ఒక ఫార్మాట్ లో ఉంటే నీకు డేట్ ని if you want to do any సో డేట్ ఫార్మాట్ చేంజ్ చేయాలి ఫైల్లో ఒక ఫార్మాట్ ఉంది దాన్ని నువ్వు చేంజ్ చేయాలి సో అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు విల్ గో విత్ దిస్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ సో records terminated by the new line which happened directories happen so fields terminated by the comma. Okay, so this location is also mentioned. Ejector limit. Okay, so use this skip. Okay, I'm dropping also like else I'm mentioning like a EMP load one. Not a minute. Till now it is working.
Directory issue.
So I'm dropping and recreating the directory. Let's see. Let's try it one more time. Syntax error, phone skip. Okay. Maybe we need to use this in the starting of the case. I'm sorry. So we need to use the skip option prior to the fields terminated by a column. Okay, fields are terminated by the comma. So then we need to use records rejected unlimited option reject. We need to mention like a rejected option as well. So we'll mention like a option at the rejected unlimited option as well. So we'll see about the difference here. Okay, we loaded the data in this place now. Okay, so yesterday we loaded the data into the normal table. Okay, now I'm removing this file from this place too. Okay, now I'm removing this file. Now the file has been dropped. Okay, check the data in your table. So usually if you see this error data Cartesian error, okay, see the file emp csv is not in your list or directory. So డైరెక్టరీలో ఆ ఫైల్ లేదు అని చెప్పి చెప్తుంది. ఓకే ఓకే now I am restoring my file back and changing the data in this. So no need to go to the recycle bin. Okay, now I'm removing the data in this place. Some of the data, not all the data. Okay, so now editing with this. So now I'm removing the 10th department information. So I removed the 10th department of employee information. Now see the data in your table. So earlier you are getting the error, right? Data Cartesian error. Now read the data from again this place. So it is not at all storing any data in this place. Okay. See now. So let's start from user underscore. Underscore. User underscore tables. So a table name. Table name in EMP. Okay, so EMP1, EMP load 1. We have the difference. Okay, so we don't have any EMP table here. So create the normal EMP table as well. Then VLD.SQL, take this. Okay. Okay. So see here, it is taking some space. It is taking some space, but external table is not at all taking any space because you are not storing any data in the database. Yes, you are reading. So while working with your data, so you are reading the data through the table. So it working like as a mediator between file to you. So file lo content edaithe undo adi you are reading through the table. So have you observed, right? So you haven't taken any space here. Okay, so if you want to see in user underscore segments, user underscore segments. See, if in the database, if it is take any space, the component will must and should store in a user underscore segment. Okay, if people don't know, like we have the views concepts and everything. So it look like I say, but table. So, but it won't take any space because it's not the physical object. It's a logical object. Okay, so the difference of the external table and the SQL loader is, so well load the data. So from wherever you can able to load from the local machine, you can able to load from your remote machine. Okay, you can load the data into database. It load the data into the normal table. It's a heap table. So usually we have three types of tables. So usually we have three types of tables. Yes. So normal heap table. So then we have IoT tables. And IoT tables. And we have so IoT table and as well as GTT table we have. And we have external tables. We have four types of tables. So whatever the table we are using, create table, table name. So you are creating the column name and definitions, everything. So that the table by default, the type is a heap. By default, whatever the table you are creating, it's a heap table. So heap meaning, so we have like a data science lo meeku concepts ఉంటాయి. So FIFO, LIFO అని చెప్పి అంటే first in first. Okay, last in first. Okay, first in last out. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఫస్ట్ ఇన్ లాస్ట్ అవుట్. సో ఫిఫో లిఫో అని చెప్పి మీరు చదువుకుంటే డేటా సైన్స్ లో మీకు వచ్చింటాయి. ఓకే, సో అలా హీప్ అనేది ఫస్ట్ ఇన్ ఫస్ట్. ఇఫ్ యూ ఇన్సర్ట్ ద డేటా ఇన్ టు ద టేబుల్, సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ద రికార్డ్ యూ ఇన్సర్టెడ్ ఇన్ ద ఫస్ట్, ఇట్ గెట్ స్టోర్డ్ ఇన్ టు దట్ అండ్ హీప్ యాస్ ఇస్. ఇట్ వోంట్ డూ ఎనీ డేటా మ్యానిపులేషన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ది బ్యాక్ ఎండ్. సిస్టమ్ నువ్వు ఎలా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేస్తానో అలానే తీసుకుంటుంది. దాది నార్మల్ గా హీప్ టేబుల్ అంటారు దాన్ని. ఓకే, దెన్ ఐఓటి టేబుల్, ఇండెక్స్ ఆర్గనైజ్డ్ టేబుల్. ఇండెక్స్ ఆర్గనైజ్డ్ టేబుల్. సో ఇది ఈ టేబుల్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఆటోమేటిక్ గా మనం ఒక ఇండెక్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసి పర్టికులర్ కాలం కి ఇండెక్స్ అనేది క్రియేట్ చేసి నువ్వు డేటాని ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు నేమ్ పైన నువ్వు ఇండెక్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసినావు అనుకో. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ ద డేటా యూ ఇన్సర్టెడ్ ఫస్ట్, ఇట్ గెట్ ఇన్సర్టెడ్. ద సెకండ్ టైమ్ ఆన్వర్డ్స్ ఇట్ లుక్ ఫర్ ది డేటా సార్టింగ్. So it look for the data sorting. So data sorting ante A and a letter first undi, then you are inserting B. So it won't do any sorting. So if B letter is in this first record, so you are inserting the A record as the first. Then it gets sorted the data and inserted the A as the first record, B is the second record. Okay, index organized table. So the data is organized by the index and sorted the data and stored that into the table. So this is called like a IoT table. This table we want to use regularly. So not regularly also we want to use this table. So data warehousing people will use these tables. Okay, so then, so we have global temporary tables, GTT, global temporary tables. So this will help you to avoid the table locks. So ఇవి ఏం చేస్తాయంటే heap table అనేది, if someone is using the data from that particular table, సో నార్మల్ టేబుల్ పైన డిఎంఎల్ ఆపరేషన్ పర్ఫామ్ చేసిన తర్వాత సో వేరే యూజర్ హోల్డ్ లో ఉండాలి. ఎందుకు? ద టేబుల్ గెట్ లాక్ అంటిల్ ద ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ గెట్ కంప్లీట్. సో ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఎప్పుడు కంప్లీట్ అవుతుంది? ఇఫ్ యూ యూజ్ ది కమిట్ ఆర్ రోల్ బ్యాక్ ఫర్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ టేబుల్, ఆ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ అనేది కమిట్ అవుతుంది. సో అంటిల్ దెన్ ద టేబుల్ విల్ ఇన్ లాక్ మోడ్. Okay, so lock mode to avoid the table locks for the tables. So okesari concurrent users okesari oka table ni access cheyali ante, so multiple users okesari same table need to use by the multiple users. So in that case, the heap table cannot be useful in this place because there is a chance to get lock the tables. So to avoid the table locks, we'll use the external, the global temporary tables. So ఎందుకు global temporary అంటున్నారంటే, so if we insert the data, it create the session level tables. So create the session level tables. So see, we cannot create each and everything here. So just we'll take some example and we see the difference here. Simply you will add additionally some keywords. Okay, so this is your, so JSV is your table name I'm creating here. Okay, so global temporary has been created. Create table, table name, create table, table name. So just you are adding like a global temporary. Global temporary. Okay, so then you are adding some additional keywords here: on commit, delete rows, on commit, preserve rows. We have two options here. So we'll see the things by next time actually. Okay, so we'll insert the data in this place. Insert into JSP values. Okay, so values 1. Okay, I have inserted the data into this. Select the data in this place. So you are able to see the data. So then connect to the another user, another session. You are able to see this data. Okay, so wait. See, if I use the commit, the data is not present in this place. So I'm mentioning in this place on delete, sorry, on commit, delete rows. So commit ఎప్పుడైతే జరుగుతుందో అప్పుడు ఆ రికార్డ్స్ ని delete చేసి. Okay, this is one method. So we have another method like on commit, preserve rows. Okay, preserve rows. So let's see. Okay, you cannot able to drop this table as well until error. Global drop, global temporary table like a JSV. Okay, so simply we need to use drop table name. Okay, so now we drop this table. So now I'm creating with the same table with the preserve rows. Now the table has been created. Now see this table has been inserted the data. Select this data in another user. This one need not be shown actually. Okay, so the commit has been completed. See the data in your both places. Commit.
Actually, we using the preserve, right? It will be preserved when we use commit.
So we are using JSV user and username is also JSV. See, so actually I connected with the same user. So I connected with the same user. Okay, so now see if you have any doubt, we'll see with something like a select star from EMP. You are getting the data in this place. Okay, now read the data from your HR user. Okay, the HR user table is having 23. Okay, so take the JSV user data. We have 14 records. So now you are reading the data, JSV table data, not your HR schema data. Okay, now see, now I'm creating this table, dropping this table. Okay, see here, now you cannot able to drop this table until the database sessions need to be killed. So మీరు ఎవరైతే కనెక్ట్ చేసి ఉన్నారో ఆ సెషన్స్ అన్ని క్లోజ్ అయిపోవాలి. ఎప్పుడు క్లోజ్ అవుతాయి? సో you don't know like what are the how many people are working in your project. So you cannot able to see all the sessions. So అప్పుడు నువ్వు ఏం చేయాలి? You need to bounce the server and we can release the all sessions. So bounce చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? Fresh గా స్టార్ట్ చేసినాం database. So whatever the connections we have earlier, that all the connection had been disconnected. So then see the జరుగుతుందంటే, so if the table has been created with the preserve rows, you cannot able to drop that object, you cannot able to see the data, whatever the data you are inserting in your schema, that you cannot able to see in any other schema. So now see, now I am inserting the data again in this. Okay, so I inserted like a 3 records. See in this place JSV. Now we have totally 4 records. Okay, now I am trying to read the data in this place. Okay, see here, now I am inserting the data into my session. In JSV session, like a HR user, I am trying to insert the data into HR user. If I have the access, then only I can able to insert the data. Okay, so now I am inserting the data with the B user. Okay, now committed. Okay, so JSV user information you cannot able to see this earlier. Now you are able to see the data with whatever the record you inserted in your session. See, and go to this place again, JSV. Okay, this is your session, HR user session. HR user session, you use the JSV table and inserted the 2 records in this place. And you are in the JSV user and you inserted like a 4 records in this place. So this data is in the same table. So you are seeing the data from the JSV table from the JSV user. In this place also you are reading the data from the same table. But so that the concurrent user is having the different type of data in your sessions. Got it right? Any doubt?
Based on different users.
So meaning the global temporary table are the acting like as a session level table. Session level tables. So on we have 2 types of global temporary tables: on commit preserve rows, on commit delete rows. So commit ఎప్పుడైతే నువ్వు యూజ్ చేస్తావో it automatically delete the data from that. Okay, so this is the 2 types of table, global temporary tables. So we discuss about 3 types. Now we have another type is external tables. So what are the things we see now? This is called like a external tables. Okay, so we'll from 12C onwards. So how we are creating this data and we are reading the data from the table. So we no need to create the table. So simply we'll use as a external inline table. So inline table ante మనం ఏంటి inline view అనేది చెప్పాను మీకు. Inline view అంటే ఏంటి definition? Instead of table name, if you create like any table, see, so inline view meaning, so instead of this table name, if you mention like any query, select from dual. This is called inline view. Instead of table name, if you are passing any select query that act like as your temporary table, this we can call it as an inline view. Okay, the same way we can able to create the external tables as an inline manner. So simply instead of creating the table, simply mention this as a external and provide that syntax. What are the syntax we mentioned in this place? So where we created that we need to mention in this place. These all mention in this place. Let's copy one by one. Okay, now I copied. So other things also we need to copy. Okay, so we can mention this till this line. Okay. So we are using the directories and everything in this place. So we need to use maybe JSP user itself. Wait, I need to search for the syntax.